Hi, my name is Marco Bronzini. I'm a graduate of the Royal Academy of Arts in London, England. I haven't posted anything in a little while because I've been busy with my art school, so I apologize for that. Today we're going to be doing a semi-abstract mixed media still life. So this is our subject today, just a still life with bottles and pots and some sort of neutral colors, which would be really nice for the painting. Okay, I'm going to start with a large brush with acrylic, just to put a few colors at the back, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to go with oil on top of it. Acrylic first, oil on top is fine, not the other way around. You can't do oil and then switch with acrylic. But you can do acrylic first, it's fine, and then with oil once the acrylic is dry, of course. So I'm just going to do a few little colors at the back, just to get some stuff going on, nothing much. And again, we're using just some of the colors in here. We're making up our own version of the still life. It's not trying to reproduce a photograph here. And when you use acrylic, make sure you keep your brushes in the water if you're not using them, because they'll dry really quickly. Now what I'm going to do with a palette knife, I'm going to scratch a few things just to get some stuff organized. Then we're going to let some of that dry. This will take about a few minutes to dry, and then we can go back with oil on top of it afterwards. All right. A couple of things, and I'm going to let that dry. All right. So the acrylic is dry now. We're going to go over with the oil. Again, notice my canvas has been prepared like a warm gray. Okay, I've never painted on white unless I can help it. And the reason I want to do acrylic is I want to do another layer underneath. So instead of waiting for the oil to dry 5-6 days and return, I do acrylic, which I'm not real fond of, but it works in these cases. And I'm going to build up with oil on top of it, okay? All right, so a semi-abstract still life. We're going to be using some of the shapes, again, some of those verticals and horizontals to create a painting. But let's show real quickly the colors I have here. I have ultramarine, cerulean, I've got some sap green, burnt sienna, some warm gray, some ivory black, and some titanium white. And I have liquid today. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few little lines with using some black and some ultramarine, just to get a few things going. So some of the lines here, nothing written in stone. Those are just guidelines that I'm going to use for the painting. I'm not going to follow that exactly. I'm going to go in and out, in and out. Again, remember, if you're using acrylic first, to let it really, really dry, you can go back with oil on top of that. I'm using literally just the colors and the shape to create a painting. Perspective is irrelevant here, so I'm going to use just flat colors and flat space. I'm not interested in ellipses, nothing like that. Right, I am using a few of the lines that then interest me for the painting, like that cloth right here. It's actually rather good. Just the shape of it. I'm using some of the colors a little bit, but I'm still doing my own sort of version of it. And if you ever do something like that, I hope you do the same. You can look at the subject and create your own, your own version of it, making a painting out of it. Not too concerned about the actual color of the reference in this case, because it's semi-abstract. Let's bring back in here. So some of the colors there with the acrylic, kind of looking kind of nice underneath. I guess there's some wine in there. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a color in here just for fun. And then we're going to go back up here and create some darker tones at the top, kind of to frame the whole thing. All right, let's blend some of this out. A little bit more work in the background. And that color underneath, very useful. I'm gonna leave that just the way it is. A few little highlights, even though it's semi-abstract, still useful. I like what goes on in this section in here. There. All right, like the top of that kettle right there. How many cups of tea were made out of that kettle? My wife and I drink tea on a regular basis. You notice I'm doing little things, little details, and the other thing, no detail at all. And I think that's what you're supposed to be doing on a semi-abstract. Just pick up the important points. One more time, don't copy me, okay? Just do your own version of the painting if you want to try to do something like that. You don't have to copy anything that I do. What I'm showing you in all my videos is the principle that should be applied to paint. Rules are made to be broken, of course, but some good basis is also very important. Some strong concept of what you're supposed to be doing. There's a table back in here actually, which is a nice horizontal. I'm going to pick it up there, and I'm going to pick it up right in here. Nothing special, just a few little lines like that to indicate there. All right, let me rearrange this line in here. This angle, which is the original line here, I don't like. I'm going to make it go a little straighter. I think it's a better angle. Same thing in here. I'm going to destroy that. Not working. In fact, I'm not even sure that color is working. All right, so that color is terrible. So I'm going to scrape it off with a palette knife. And I've added a bit of a lighter color on my palette, and that's a better color right in here. I think it's slightly better. And I'm going to line it with a darker color here as well, like this. The beauty about oil paint, of course, is you can change your mind time and time again, and it's perfectly fine. You can't do that with media, but with oil paint you can. Let's have a look at this here. Maybe another color in there might be nice. Let me put some cerulean on my palette. This painting is not going to take very long to finish. Silverish color here, there, right here. And I think the bottle behind needs a little bit more work. Perhaps a color like this, just to create another dimension, like that. Put a little bit more black. Ivory black and ultramarine makes a beautiful dark color without using pure black. So I'm going to pick up a few more lines in here. This is fine, this is fine. We create another shape right in there. Reestablish this shape here, which is actually quite good. Like that. That's a better shape. All right, a couple more things, and then we're gonna call it quits. Right, a few finishing strokes there and there. Then we're gonna have the painting done. A nice color in here, I think, would be good. And I'm gonna pick up the same thing on the other side in here, just as a follow through, like this. So shapes and colors in this semi-abstraction, not copying exactly the photograph. We don't want to do another photograph on the canvas. And I can still take my palette knife, I can still do a few scratches on top of that if I wanted to. So I can still do this, like that. This I'm going to leave alone. I'm going to write in here. Just a few strokes of colors there and there. Then I think we're going to be good. Blend that a little bit better. Put in here. All right, I'm just going to add a couple of little lines right here and right there, just to strengthen that whole section right there. I mean, what is semi-abstract really? Just dismantling some shapes, not to be too faithful to the photograph, to the reference, although we want to use the reference, but just go your own way and design and colors. All that involves a semi-abstract painting. Can do a couple of shapes in here, maybe there. Maybe in here, just to follow through. All right, I'm gonna add a little contrast right in here, right in this section here, using my burnt sienna. Just sort of blend that out like that. So it's quite a little contrast. And in here as well a little bit. I think we're almost done. I'm not sure what else I want to do on this. I'm thinking about it. Let me just do little things in here. A few little shapes there. That's better. All right. Okay, that will do. Semi-abstract, mixed media because there's acrylic underneath. We make sure the acrylic is dry when you go to oil. And you never want to do the other way around. You can't put oil and go acrylic, okay? You can't do that. So I dismantled some of the shapes and created a painting. So let me know what you think of this one. And thank you again for all your comments and following me up and subscribing. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.